Welcome to Subarctic Scandinavia. Now I'm here for a week, and during the week I'm going to try and capture as many phenomena as I can.
Yes, welcome to Phenomena Chasing. It's the end of December and I'm just 3 degrees from the Arctic Circle, on the lookout for any interesting, unusual or peculiar bits of nature to capture on film.
And when I say phenomenon, I mean things like the northern lights and light pillars and polar stratospheric clouds, those amazing visual phenomena. But I also mean things like ice, things that we don't really get in Britain, because these are different every time. And I'm lucky to be able to come here quite a lot. And every time I come, the weather's different conditions, different phenomena. Like this time, for example, the lakes are all still not frozen. There's not even any snow where I am right now. Whereas last time I came, the lakes were frozen, lots of snow, lots of different phenomena.
When I arrived, the weather was less than ideal, with storm Johannes in full swing, battering the country with gusty winds and a temperature just above zero. It made for quite the dramatic welcome as we stepped off the plane. The next day the storm had cleared, so we went out to the nearby forest where lots of debris was strewn across the icy snow and several trees had been torn down.
Lots of debris after stormen Johannes. None of the trains or anything were running, but just after 2 o'clock, sun has set. It's about 2 degrees, a little bit windy. Whoops. We're on the ski trail, so it's compressed ice here instead of snow. Well, it's got snow on top. We have a big victim.
With the wind dropping further, we went down to the lake in town to see some interesting ice deposits where the waves have been crashing into the shore.
It's been very stormy last couple of days, and the waves have been crashing up onto the side here and splashing everything. All of this is frozen solid here. There's some icicles off the brickwork down there. Really overhanging that. I went near the edge and I was like, oh actually it's overhanging, and look how much it's crazy. Amazing to see all that ice there.
Day 4 welcomed some pleasant weather, so we headed out for an island on the lake to look for some interesting ice formations along the coast from the storm-driven waves.
It's really thick on there actually, and this is solid as well. These waves, you could just stand there. It looked like it would be like soft, but it's not. Look at that rock. What we've got here is this slushy sort of ice that's been kind of washed up onto the shore, and it's created this sort of wave-like pattern of frozen solid ice, which is strong enough to walk on, strong enough to support my weight. And looking on here, you see all this ice, solid clear ice, quite thick actually on these rocks. If you look here, that is most likely from the waves splashing onto these rocks and just solidifying when it hits it. Last time when I was here at this time of year, the lakes were all completely frozen, there was snow everywhere, there's all sorts of amazing sky phenomena going on. And let's not, you know, say that that's not going to happen later in the week, because fingers crossed. But even though that hasn't happened, there's still loads of phenomena to capture everywhere. Look at this here. It's like the rocks are wearing little hats made up like these. Where I am right now is actually on the sheltered side of this island, and the other side has had these huge wind-blown waves slamming into it during a storm. This side has been on the proper windward side, so the big waves have been coming in here. You can really see that on all of these plants and everything. You've got this solid layer of ice, and this tree really highlights that. Absolutely incredible looking. Tree is making some really incredible noises. Got to be a bit careful because I'm stood on what's probably just ice, but this tree is connected into the surface of the water with the ice, and every time a wave hits, it's pressing on it, causing it to creak. Some proper freezing. The lake is actually frozen on this side. Frozen and still. There you are, viewers, you're now floating on ice. Even this is actually holding me up. Look at that. I don't know, because you get there and it's like a seesaw.
I can see it on the way back.
They are quite thin. Is that? Well, this looks like the sort of lake you shouldn't walk on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. See these pieces?
Yeah.
That's what they picked up from the side.
Uh-huh.
So it's like 4 centimeters thick.
And how thick does it need to be to support?
1.
Okay, yeah.
but probably shouldn't go out to the middle because there's still water underneath it.
It does look quite dark in there.
And
It is quite thick there. That looks like almost like 10 centimetres.
yeah, it's probably thicker there.
Shall I move this? Oh, look at all the bubbles here.
I think, yeah, some bigger ones.
Oh, I didn't like that noise. Oh, and every day you got a slope of ice down to the lake.
On day 5, we headed up to a viewpoint, spotted a deer in the trees, and saw how ice forms on a rapidly flowing stream.
It snowed quite a bit in the night. I say quite a bit, so you know, it's barely a centimetre. But underneath the snow is solid ice. So I've got these spiky shoes on, giving a bit of grip on the ice. It makes a world of difference just having some little metal spikes to poke down into it. And following the storm, there were lots of trees that came down. And look at this one here, fractured all the way up, probably about, I don't know, 3 meters up there, still standing. Must have been quite a sound when that came down. Look how orange these are. Coming down there, and all down here too. This time of year up here, the sun rises about 10 and it sets about 2. And even during the peak of the day, it barely gets any higher than it is now. You can just see just above the horizon where the sun is, and that sort of orangey sky. And the sky does stay quite orange for most of the day because it is like a sunset, sunrise the whole day because the sun just stays so low. There's a little hole here with some ice on it. When it froze, the water must have been up to here, and then it's now drained away underneath. Possibly the whole thing's grounded now. Metal hook there. Probably like a really deep mine shaft or something. Oh look. See it? There's a deer staring at us in the forest there. Oh, it's moving, it's moving. It definitely exists. But there was a deer and a baby deer had so much ice the shoes are going to look like a bracket. Here's another victim of the storm crossing our path. I think this forest would have been a bit of a dangerous place to be during the storm. Like that. Like a little bubbly blob of ice. Just stand by this little stream here, and every time there's like a little branch or a blade of grass or something hitting the surface of the water, you get like this little plate forming kind of on the surface of the water around that bit of grass. So I guess you get a bit of ice forming on the grass itself, and then it just kind of spreads out from there and grows. And then I guess eventually it will sort of spread across the whole thing, and that's probably part of the mechanism of how a stream like this is going to freeze completely. Look at all this.
Day 6 brought a named snowstorm, so with the terrain finally getting a good dose of snow, we headed out into the forest.
It's another day which brings another named storm. The last one, Storm Johannes, was named because of winds, but this storm, Storm Anna, has been named because of the snow. Certain parts of Sweden are going to get almost 80 centimetres, but we're not going to get quite as much down here. The forecast is for 10 to 20. I think we've already had pretty much that. It'll be interesting to see, you know, everything with a bit more of a snowy coat on now. Yeah, it's very dry.
It's very not dense.
You can see here my ice spikes have dug into the ice there. Whoa, that was dramatic. It's been snowing all morning and all night, quite heavy flakes as well, but now that I've actually come outside, it's sort of almost like snowy drizzle really. It's not actual drizzle, but it's like really small snowflakes. Not quite as dramatic in the sky, but at least the terrain is nice and snowy. Look at this anthill. Except for the hill shape, it's unrecognisable as being an anthill, you know. This is like a little pile. You can see this river coming out here with all the water coming out through the culvert. But on the other side, where is it? There it is. The water is all the way up to the top. So I'm guessing the culvert's a bit blocked. And as a result, it's built up with still water, which is able to freeze. Cover that back up a bit, bit of new snow on there and you'll never even know. It's about 1:30, it's already getting quite dark. Snow's really starting to pick up again. I think that might be contributing to how dark it suddenly got. Not sure if that's coming across on camera, but
Day 7, we headed out to the mountains to see some deep snow with mountain views and were blessed with a fantastic lunar halo on the way back.
it's lovely weather today. Cold air in place, high pressure, snow on the ground, no wind. Perfect conditions for it to cool down. And look at that, minus 17 degrees. And it's set to get colder. Little parhelia over there. You can see just over there, the moon set. Where there's open water, it's steaming. Look at that. Loads of snow. It's about minus 20 degrees and we are wading through very deep, very sort of dry and fluffy snow with snowshoes on. It's so light and fluffy, it's unbelievable. Half a metre of snow fell here during the storm. Amazing. Wow. Oh, wow. Let's try and uncover the ice a bit to work out what's going on in here. I mean, it's just so deep. Oh, there's the bottom. There's the ice. Wow. beautiful, isn't it? So there you go, there's the ice under the lake. And we're sort of talking about half a metre-ish of snow. Unbelievably quiet. It's 2:25 in the afternoon. The sun has set and it's now getting dark. Uh-oh. It's slushy, wet snow at the bottom here. I think it's time to return to land. I guess this is not fully frozen and the snow insulates it from the air, so it's struggling. But it's, you know, it's clearly thick. Just, yeah, the snow at the bottom has turned to like really kind of very wet and malleable. Yeah, I can like take a scoop out of that. If you look really close to the surface of the ice, there's like a little thin layer of mist all along it. The full moon rising over there. Just coming along in the car, it's very difficult to see on the camera, but there's a fantastic lunar halo overhead. And the moon is amazing at the moment, proper full moon, and then you've got clearly some ice-based clouds or ice in the sky, and we've got a lunar halo. There comes the moon coming back into view, and the halo around it is beautiful.
On day 8, the ice finally started to set on the main lake, under a sky of cirrus, which brought with it sea smoke, frost flowers, parhelia, and a solar halo.
Absolutely beautiful here. This is about -20 this morning, and there's obviously gorgeous sunshine. There's like a big old sort of layer of steamy fog on the water, and the edges are frozen already, but the middle is still liquid water. Wow, it's pretty nice. Parhelion over there is up on there, look. Oops, that was a bit of ice. This is not going to be solid enough to walk on. Look at that. See the two parhelia here and here, some in the middle, and then this lovely steam on the water's edge. I'm going to get a couple more photos of the steam over here. These are all frozen in, so they're all frozen to the ground. You can't get a single one out. Oh, he's in. Just went through the ice.
Bara 100 meter bort här.
Well, the lake's frozen properly down here, enough to skate on, apparently. He said there's about 7 centimetres around the edge here. Crystals and flakes on the ice here. And it's making an incredible noise when he skates along it. I'm hoping that was picked up. Oh, actually, you've got the full halo and the sun pillar in the middle. Look at this ice here. This is from that storm the other day, and it's amazing to think actually the other day how wavy the water was, absolutely cascading over these rocks. I mean, look there and all around here, absolutely plastered in this ice. You know, and in just a few days it's going to be completely flat, completely frozen. Look at that. Across the whole thing. Let's get some photos of these frost flowers. Look at that. Well, I can't feel my hands, so now's a good time to turn and head back to shore, I think. Ledge of ice there. Just under these edge rocks, there's all these icicles. Now I think the halo is forming in the clouds as opposed to in the air, but I'm not sure because just where the halo meets the trees on both sides there is a bright patch, which would suggest that actually it's perhaps forming in the air and the clouds. Every time I look around it looks like the halo is even stronger. And you got that a bit on the top as well. I've forgotten the name of it right now. Well, when we drove past here this morning, this was all water and it was all steaming like crazy, but it appears to have frozen in the sort of hour or two since we came past, which means it's not creating the sea smoke stuff anymore. It's definitely frozen. It is steaming slightly actually. Yeah, we're just talking about the damage here. Probably not from the most recent storm, but it's definitely sprayed it ice. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm impressed with how far they got. I reckon all of the sea smoke is probably helping the water cool down really fast. It's taking away energy from the water as it rises. It's using that energy to rise, which in turn is allowing the water to cool down. Because this is literally cooled down and frozen in an hour or so. Transition, what was definitely frozen last night to what I don't think was frozen last night. If you look up close to these, I can't just, oh, look at that. They're amazing. The patterns on them. You gotta get a bit of side action. A little lunar pillar here, a moon pillar.
To top it all off, the evening closed with a sky full of light pillars, one of nature's most unusual looking phenomena.
Look at them. It's such a bizarre looking phenomenon. So right now, there's diamond dust in the sky, basically tiny little plates of ice. And as they're falling, they're reflecting the light beneath them. And they're creating these pillars in the sky. So where you see the pillars, that's where the diamond dust is. And they're directly over sources of light, whatever that may be. Street lights, cars. They're absolutely beautiful phenomenon. Because they only really tend to form when it's really cold. It's minus 20. I'm struggling to feel my hands. My kit's getting quite brittle. Not really clipping together properly. Oh, well, we've all gone temporarily. It was very fleeting. an amazing display and suddenly nothing. Well, the pillars have all gone, so I'm going to head in and charge my equipment, and then maybe we'll be back up some more light pillars or in a bit. Welcome back outside. We've got light pillars returned all over the sky in front of me, and this time the dust is coming all the way down to the ground. So you can see just in front of the lamp posts, you can see the sparkling, and I'm gonna shine a torch in a second, see, but these pillars go right overhead all the way up to the top. A couple of stars out there as well. So far no geomagnetic activity, it's super quiet, but there is possible impact later, so just got to be careful about using all my camera battery if that's going to arrive soon, but I think it's worth it for this. Amazing, look at that one there, it's really impressive. I'll try and get some photographs, and I can also feel the dust landing on me as well. So let's see, is the camera on? Oh, okay, it is on. Take the lens cap off, right. I have to take the camera exposure right down to like just a second, you know, because it's coming out way too bright on there. It has lit up the whole sky, having this diamond dust all around. This is shining my torch directly up into the air. Look at the... That's what's falling, all these tiny little plates of ice. And my breath as well, getting into shot. Isn't that amazing? But that's a really bright pillar. Well, that didn't sound good. Yeah, they really do go all the way up to the sky above us. Let's see what happens if I tilt the camera. Will it fall off its tripod? Oh, yes it will. I got so much snow in my glove. Oh, it's so cold. Go shine the light.
There's one there. Oh yeah, I can see it.
Hoping you can see some of the stuff in this camera. There are cars moving around. I want to get another video of a car going past. I hear one. Out there. Can you see that? Look at the diamond dust on the car. It's quite shiny. Look there. You see? So there we go, a spectacular end to the trip. You can see behind me all the pillars there, really incredible. It looks like the aurora is not going to show, at least for a little while longer, so I'm not going to think about waiting for it. I may leave the camera running into the night to see. Absolutely spectacular phenomenon. It's amazing to look at them above. You can't really see it on there, but they just converge directly overhead. And when cars come past, it follows their headlights. Just, yeah, really bizarre thing to see.
So, all that remains to be said is thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and I look forward to chasing some more phenomena in the future.